We'll start this video out with a look at the biggest news that's impacted the villages since the opening of Sawgrass Grove. And of course, that's the opening of Eastport. Now, there's only one restaurant open right now, and things are still getting started. They've just started doing some live entertainment. It's limited. It's not the full music every night like we see in all the other town squares, but they have said that it may change, and I've got a funny feeling that these lesser entertainment offerings are not going to be the hit that they think they are, and they'll go back to nightly music, just like the other town squares, as more businesses start to open up here in Eastport. Here we have a look at the rooftop bar for Prime and Embers, the latest FMK restaurant to open up, and it's obviously a very popular location. Prime and Embers itself is an awesome restaurant. I've eaten there twice, and I can't say enough good about the food. Of course, no town square in the villages would be proper this time of year without plenty of Christmas lights, and they've definitely done it up well here in Eastport. Sunset Island is now open, the hotel is now open, and it's quite the light show every night with all the buildings and the sidewalk being lit up. So the possibilities for evening entertainment and activities at Eastport is definitely there. Between all the lighting, the sound system, the stage, and viewing all the way around because of Sunset Island, it's definitely going to be a spectacular entertainment venue when it comes fully into its own in hopefully the next couple of months. As we get farther on in this video, I've included a look back at some of the areas so that you can see how they compare to what it is then and now. The first one of these is here in just a second. It'll be a look at Eastport from a year ago as compared to what you're seeing right now. A lot of things have been happening at Eastport. They've announced a few restaurants coming. They've got Peach Valley, which is a breakfast restaurant, Oak and Stone, which is a bar, Tacos and Tequila, which is a Mexican restaurant, obviously with plenty of adult libation. They've also announced a few other retail establishments. They're trying to keep the interest in Eastport by making these announcements every 2 or 3 weeks to keep you going. If you do have a chance to get to Eastport, go down there, take a look around. It's really a gorgeous place. One of the comments I've frequently heard is that there's not a lot of space for seating here in Eastport. But actually, there's a lot more than you think, because this whole area that we're looking at here, this street area, there is no curb. So there's nothing to trip over. It just becomes more of the seating area and part of the entertainment venue itself instead of just a road. It's actually quite an ingenious use of space, and it's a good safety feature not having the curbs to trip over, especially at night. There's also this big lighted seating area on Sunset Island. With nothing in the way but water, the sound will carry very clearly, and you'll be able to enjoy it from both sides of the stage. Here's the first look back at Eastport a year ago. One of the first things you notice, there's no Olympic-sized swimming pool to the left of the Olympia Recreation Center. Most of the downtown buildings were still in the early stages of construction, as was the bandstand. And of course the hotel was just getting started. This area under construction is where Yamas and the outdoor bar is located. As gorgeous as Eastport is at night, during the day it's just as gorgeous, if not more. This is Sunset Island. It's got this crazy walking path. I walked on it the other day and kind of got dizzy and lost at the same time. And of course this area underneath these palm trees is supposed to be a viewing area for the dragon boat racing and for the band. Palm trees as shade trees, though, probably not going to be much value. Of course, there's the pool. It's open now, and the Olympia Recreation Center is open. The Welcome Center and Home Sales Office is also open. The steps in front of the Blue Star area is more seating for watching the dragon boat racing. And as we get to the stage, we see these two covered areas, something they learned from Sawgrass Grove that was extremely popular, and they've carried it forward here to Eastport. And don't forget also, there's the walking path all the way around Central Lake. But enough of Eastport. Let's go on to some more exciting stuff going on here in the villages.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Here we're looking at County Road 470 and the project to build a second span for County Road 470 across the Florida Turnpike. This will extend 470 up to the new fire station and then ultimately to Central Parkway. Let's take a quick jump across the road and look at this from the other side. As you can see from this view, they're building 4 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction, and we'll head up to the west, and you'll see that there's not just 1, but 2 multimodal tunnels going under this section of 470. What does that tell us? That tells us they have big plans for this area that has previously been designated as the area where the hospital will eventually be built. While no announcements have been made about the hospital issue in probably 2 or 3 years, my sources tell me that the issue is not dead, they're still working it, but I can't seem to find out any more information beyond that. But as soon as I do, I'll let everybody know as much as I can. While nothing has been officially announced in this area, one thing we do know, the Villages doesn't do things without a purpose, and there's obviously a purpose going on here. Let's move now to the southwest, to the eastern half of the village of Long Prairie. And coming up, we see the Mustang Recreation Center is under construction here. This is another village recreation center, similar to Water Lily, Franklin, Saint-Tropez, and Saluki. This is the intersection of Bush Boulevard and Marsh Bend Trail. And we're going to rotate around just a little bit. We're going to head now to the southeast, to this area over here on the opposite corner of McNeil and Marsh Bend Trail. In this area right here, another regional recreation center is going to be built. I don't think it'll be quite as elaborate as Olympia, but it'll probably be on the lines of Everglades and Azelle. I'm going to fly northward now along the southern section of McNeil Drive, looking to the east. This area here will be another one of the future villages. And I'm going to zoom in and we can see the power lines in the distance. That's basically where the county line is for Lake County. So this entire area will probably be one of the additionally named villages that were put out a couple of years ago when they did their Continuing the Dream newspaper inserts. That included Farmstead, Bradshaw Hill, and Long Prairie, and Merritt Field. Which one of those other ones will it be? It's hard to say yet. Knowing the boundaries of these new villages is still very, very hazy and still going to take quite a bit of research to find out. As I rotate around, we get another view of McNeil Drive, and at the top of the screen is Fire Station 49. Coming into view now is the 2 new executive courses that have started construction. This is the Timberland and the Lakes Executive Golf Course. They're 9-hole courses, just like all the other executive courses. What level of difficulty is still yet to be seen. Rotating around now to the south, we can see Marsh Bend Trail cutting across the top of the screen. And beyond it is another CDD number yet unknown. And of course we have golf cart traffic on McNeil Drive. Don't know where they're going. Don't know what was back there that they had to see. At the top of the screen, we see one of the stockpile yards that's being cut down now. This has been going on for about 2 months. They use this soil for grading and drainage control in the final phases of the site development work prior to building the homes. Moving to the west now, we're flying over either Beautyberry or Honeysuckle Executive Golf Course. At the top of the screen, you can see another one of the stockpile yards. It's mostly been cut down. That's that orange spot at the top of the screen. A year ago, it looked like this. It was about 3 times the size. And of course, the golf course was far from being finished, so they've made a tremendous amount of progress. And this red dirt is actually clay, and they use it again for drainage control in the final grading work. Here you can see again that this stockpile is much smaller than it was just a year ago. The road shown here is Marsh Bend Trail, the same road that comes out of Magnolia Plaza. This building is the golf course maintenance facility and a pump house for the retention pond system. The golf course you're looking at is either Beautyberry or Honeysuckle. It's coming along beautifully. It looks really nice. I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that sometime in the March or April timeframe, lots will start going on sale in the village of Long Prairie along this golf course. When we look back at a year ago at this time, the changes that have occurred are absolutely phenomenal in this area. You can see it was, I don't want to call it a mess, but they were in some very rough stages of construction at this point, and it's come an extremely long way since then. Here we get another look at the Mustang Recreation Center that's under construction in this area. Obviously, it's still quite a few months away from being close to opening, and if we assume they start selling lots in the March-April timeframe, we're still looking at this summer sometime for residents actually moving into this area, which would coincide probably pretty close to the opening of the Mustang Recreation Center. Coming up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen is where the starter shack will be for Beautyberry and Honeysuckle golf courses. Now there's some other stuff going in here. You can see the big sandy area. I don't know what that's going to be. Obviously they've got some plans, but we'll see as it starts to develop. We continue to fly to the north, and we get another view of either Beautyberry or Honeysuckle. I don't know which one is which, but this one doesn't fold upon itself, but wraps around the community. This obviously makes for many more golf course view homes. Of course, a year ago, the view of this area was much different. Here we have Water's Edge and Shady Brook villages, and there wasn't a whole lot here, just a few houses in some villa communities, and of course now the area is fully developed. As we continue our trek back south to the area where we started from, once again you can see the layout of the community and how they wrap around the golf courses. There's obviously going to be a large number of golf course and water frontage homes, both in designer homes, veranda homes, and courtyard villa homes coming to the village of Long Prairie. It should be very interesting to see as it moves forward. The rumor mill has it that both the Street of Dreams and the Lifestyle Preview accommodations will be coming to the village of Long Prairie in the upcoming months. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Magic stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Magic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Villages resident Ron Berner, every Magic Stairs and Magic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Magic Stairs installed in your home. Magic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. This is Bush Boulevard. At the north end is Central Parkway, and at the south end is the Mustang Recreation Center. As we're flying over this area, you can see they're working on putting in the roads and the deep utilities. I'm not sure, again, which village this is. Is it Bradshaw Hill, Merritt Field, Farmstead? It's hard to say. Again, those names, I don't know that they're even finalized yet as far as the actual names and the locations of the homes in the villages. Probably they are the village's plans well ahead of everything else. As we circle around, we're going to come in low, and we'll see that the gatehouse is being built for this entrance. Pretty soon, they'll have the marquee sign up and labeled, and then we'll know what village we'll be going into. As we head back, that is Eastport in the upper right-hand corner. As we fly to the west, you can see the road beds are going in, and if you look very carefully, you can see the stub-ups for the lot utilities. This is the water mains and things like that. The road going across the top of the screen is Bexley Trail, and on the other side of that is the village of Water's Edge. Rotating around and looking to the south, we see the power lines. These are the power lines that paralleled the old County Road 470 before it was moved and relocated into becoming Central Parkway. As we take a look farther south, we can see that work is a little farther along than farther north. So it appears that they're going to do in this area, just like they did with Moultrie Creek, Shady Brook, and Water's Edge, move from south to north. They'll be doing the same thing basically from Long Prairie, going north all the way up to the Bexley Bridge over the next 2 years. Once again, that's Bush Boulevard going north all the way up to the traffic circle where it meets Central Parkway. Let's jump now to the other side of Central Parkway, where work is going on adjacent to Eastport and the village of Lraange and Edenfield. The road you see is Bexley Trail, and the village under construction on the other side of the road is the village of Lraange. This is Corbin Trail. You can see right now it dead ends at the crossing. As we get to the other side, we can see, though, that they're doing the deep utilities, things like the storm drains that go along both sides of each of the roadways, as well as the water mains. This area appears to be about a year behind the southern end down by Long Prairie, which makes sense. It normally takes about 2 years to completely build out one of the community development districts, and it's not all done at once. It's a slow process from one end to the other, which is definitely what it appears that they're doing here. The retention ponds in this new area are already done, and as we've seen in most of the newer areas, they're much larger than they are in the northern sections of the villages. The roadbed you see here is the early stages of Corbin Trail. Corbin Trail will wind its way across this area. You see the yellow line on the map in the lower left corner. That's Corbin Trail. And it will wind its way all the way over to McNeil Drive. Someplace over in this area, there will also be the Meadows Championship Golf Course, another 27-hole golf course. It's probably a year away before they start really working in earnest on it to plant the grass and get everything set to go. And it'll take it 6 to 9 months to green in and be close to being ready for play. There's a brief pause in this flight right here because there was a float plane that flew over Eastport and then over into the same area I was flying in. It was only at about 300 feet, and I was at about 265 feet, way too close for comfort. So for safety's sakes, I just stopped and was ready to land the aircraft. From here, we'll end this flight as we fly in and descend towards the Farragut ball fields in Eastport. Now let's move farther to the north in this area, up by the Bexley Bridge. Here we're ascending by the Bexley Bridge. It would be over the right-hand shoulder. That's the village of Edenfield on the right. Here's some more of those large retention ponds I had previously mentioned. Again, that's Bexley Trail on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll continue to head to the south, back towards Corbin Trail, where we were just at in the previous segment. As we continue through this area, you can see that there's not really a whole lot of work going on. Once again, as we move farther and farther north, they've progressed less and less. They are doing a few of the deep utilities along some of the major roads, but for the most part, it's still in the very early stages of development. As I get towards the northern part, you'll see McNeil Drive under construction. McNeil Drive is probably a year out from being connected between the Bexley Bridge and Central Parkway. But when it's done, it will replace Megason Drive as the main traffic corridor paralleling the turnpike in this lower section of the villages. Up towards the top of the screen, you can see the early work going on for the roadbed or McNeil Drive. Most of the area between McNeil and the Florida Turnpike will be part of the Meadows Championship Golf Course, with just a few homes built on the north side of McNeil Drive. Now let's move a little bit to the west and take a look at the work going on in the village of Edenfield. The golf course you see is the Woodlands golf course. It's now complete and it's open and there's lots of play happening. You can see the golf carts on the golf cart path around each of the holes. Much of this area, the work is complete on many of the homes. As we rotate around, you'll see some what looks like smoke. That's actually the street sweepers trying to get some of the dirt off of the roads, and it goes a little bit airborne when it's windy like it was this day. At the top of the screen is the village of Okalo. The houses immediately in front of us are in the village of Edenfield, and at the top of the screen, the houses under construction are in the village of Lraange. In a few weeks, when the next video comes out, it's likely that this whole area that's bare dirt right now will have homes under construction here in the village of Lraange. What's really amazing is if we look back just a year ago, we see that this whole area was basically barren, and there was no homes here. Heck, there wasn't even streets here hardly at all. And now there are people living in many of the homes in the village of Edenfield. The Farragut ball fields are at the top of the screen, and as we round the bend, we start heading back into the village of Edenfield from the village of Lraange. Most of Edenfield is now basically done, and many, many homes have people living in them. Coming up is a mixed set of villas, courtyard villas, and some of the garden villas, like the ones built and introduced in the village of Wellpoint about a year ago. Some of those homes still haven't sold yet. I'll rotate around slowly so you can get another good look at the village of Edenfield and this section of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course that's now open. This is at the entrance to the Enclave, which is located in the very northeast corner of the village of Dabney. There was a lot of speculation about what was going on here because of this construction. Some people thought maybe the villages was expanding in this area. Well, it's not. It's just an access area that they needed to put in because of some drainage issues. You saw the drainage pipes, and you'll see them again as we rotate back around. And they built a road over it so that they can get into this area in the back and maintain it. It's nothing really exciting, so we won't be talking about this one again. Let's jump down to the south end of Middleton, just south of the high school, where they're building the church at the Springs. Site work is progressing, underground utilities are buried. They've brought in a lot of fill to help grade the lot, so another month or so, and they'll probably start pouring the foundation and then work from there to build the building. That's the old Street of Dreams on the other side of Lansdowne Boulevard. And as we head to the south, Lansdowne is on our left, the Shallow Creek Country Club is on our left, and this is more of Middleton and the family communities that are going to be built in this area. Lansdowne will continue on to the south, and coming across the top of the screen is Bexley Trail. Bexley will continue on until it crosses over the bridge coming up. After it crosses the bridge, it will turn to the west-southwest and head in that direction for a while, and then finally turn west and eventually meet up with County Road 471. Coming up is a retention pond that's in the early stages of construction. This is the bladder that lines each of the retention ponds before it's covered over with fill. And this is one of the bridges going over the dry creek bed.
Hi, I'm Jeff Monash with Village Air Filters. Are you tired of wasting money on throwaway paper air filters? I can save you money with my lifetime permanent washable air filters. Just buy it once and never buy another air filter again. Rinse it out and then just slide it right back in. My filters are custom made in the US and they have a lifetime warranty. Give me a call at 352 388-1230 or visit my website at villageairfilters.com.
This is a pedestrian bridge that's going over another section of the Dry Creek bed. No golf carts, no cars, sorry. We'll fly farther to the south. This is Bar Boulevard coming across the top of the screen, and they've built another bridge going into this later phase of the village of Middleton. This bridge appears to have 2 travel lanes for cars, 2 travel lanes for golf carts, and a pedestrian bridge on the right-hand side. This is the veranda community that's being built between Sophie Doodle's Dog Park and the Lagrange Postal Station and Neighborhood Recreation Center. They've brought in a bunch of fill to grade the land. This fill came from those stockpile yards that we saw at the south end down by the village of Long Prairie. If you haven't noticed, every home sits well above the roadbed. That's because of the grading work that they do in preparation for the home building. Okay, let's take a jump way up north. This is the Paradise Recreation Center that's being rebuilt. About 2 months ago it was raised, and you can see that things are progressing very quickly. They're getting the walls up, the foundations up. It is going like gangbusters. How long it will take to build this? Probably another year. This is a big project. This is being undertaken by the AAC, the Amenity Authorities Committee. That's the group that takes care of all the amenities north of County Road 466. This work is not being done by and is not funded by the developer. The developer really has very little interest in doing anything with the amenities up here because they don't own any of them. And unless they're building houses, they don't have any interest in building new amenities to attract home buyers. Has the developer forgotten about the north end? No, they haven't forgotten about it, but they have no interest in it because, again, they're in business to make money. They make money by selling homes. Unless they're selling homes, there's no interest to build these amenities. This is an understandable business position, but it's not one that many people want to accept. You didn't buy a rich uncle that's going to take care of you the rest of your life. You bought a home, and it had a certain amount of amenities and nothing more, and you're not guaranteed anything new or extra beyond what you bought. There's nothing else really going on new up north, so let's head back south. This is the Walmart at the corner of Morse Boulevard and 44. The building is done, the parking lot's done. They've even got the cart return racks in the parking lot. Now they're in the process of stocking the shelves. It's probably going to take another 6 weeks to stock the shelves. My understanding is they're scheduled to open sometime in March. No, there are no plans to make Walmart golf cart accessible. There's no place to cross. There's wetlands on the Chitty Chatty side of Morse Boulevard, so they can't build anything over there. And based on the location of the building and the big retention pond in the back, there's really no way to get access coming across. And to be honest with you, the amount of sales that golf cart accessibility would generate would be nowhere near what would be justified to incur the incredible expense to put in golf cart accessibility. The developer doesn't own this property, Walmart owns this property, and it would be up to them to pay for that golf cart accessibility. The county's traffic study of this intersection is now complete, and it's moved to the design phase of the improvements that are recommended for this intersection. Now the big question is, how do we pay for it? That's a challenge that the Board of County Commissioners will be dealing with for the next several months as they start to do their budget for the next fiscal year. And no, the village's developer is not responsible for paying for these upgrades. A year ago, this is what things looked like at the Woodlands Championship Course Clubhouse and Blanchard Recreation Center. And this is the Blanchard Recreation Center today. Lots of progress is being made. We're going to take a nice trip around this. You'll get a good look at the amenities that are being put in. So we've got about 2 more minutes left in this video. So I'd like to ask you to remember, please support my sponsors. Without their help and support, there's no way I could manage to continue to do these videos. And also, if you're building a custom-built home here in the Villages and you need somebody to take pictures and monitor the construction for you, please get a hold of me at goldwingnut.com or give me a call and arrange a photo-video package of your new home. Here we have the practice putting green between the 1st and 10th hole of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. And remember, life is short and power is fleeting. Physical beauty, it only lasts a very short while. And all of us who live long enough will also become weak and very vulnerable at some point. So let us be humble, help the sick, the weak, and the vulnerable. For one day, we too will have to exit this stage, so let us do it with humility, dignity, honor, and the knowledge that through our actions, we have left this world a much better place. This appears to be more veranda homes near the Lraange Neighborhood Recreation Center and Postal Station. We'll circle around and get another look at the opening holes of the front and back 9 of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. And then we're going to rise up and take a nice long look at the village of Okalo and those areas north of it, and see how much it's grown and developed, remembering that just a year ago, none of this was here. And now coming up is the last segment. This is the Hamlin Hotel right in front of the Villages High School in downtown Middleton. It has 4 floors and it's got 2 more to go for the building of this 120-room hotel. And this is the location of the new Publix in downtown Middleton. They've got the parking lot done and they've started doing some of the underground work for the foundation. It's going to be another year before this is ready to go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day.